Whoa.
Wait, try that first.
What is it doing? What is it doing? That's not what I want. No, that's playing an old thing. I don't want that. I need to start the stream. Somebody let me start the stream. Somebody let me start the stream. Somebody let me start the stream. Oh my god. Oh, here I am. Oh god, that's ghastly. I'm just like so out of sorts here. I'm not glowing white. I'm not. It's just I need to turn these background lights on to give some ambient light to the room. And then it's still kind of messed up, but maybe I'm a delightful mid-tone now. Hey, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. It's called the Godkiller. And I have a dream. I have a vision. I'll be able to make a hallway of any length that I want. So somebody says, would you please make me a hallway 10 meters long? I said, no problem. 10 meters. There it is. Bam. Somebody says, 100 meters. Because they're metric minded. They're scientific. And bam, I have a hallway that is 100 meters long instantly. Somebody says 1,000 meters, no problem. At some point, the resources of my computer will be challenged, and that will be the limiting factor of how lengthy I can make that hallway. But it occurs to me that I should have it in my power to make a hallway of virtually any length I want. Just some of those lengths would cause a lot of crunching and maybe running out of video memory, stuff like that. Not video memory. Anyways, all right. So let me show you what I've been up to. Let me demo just a tiny bit to lead into this new task that I'll be working on. All right. So the hallway. It is made out of some pieces. There's one called a level segment. Let me prefab that. Drop this into here. Replace it. Okay. So there's an end cap. So right now I've got just two pieces. Here's my end cap, which is like the end of the hallway. And then there's a segment. Now, these segments are meant to be repeated. So if I duplicate that and pull it out, and duplicate it again and pull it out, and just make a whole bunch like that. Then that starts looking like a hallway. Here, I'll hit play. You can see what happens. This might break. I've never done it with multiples. Oh, it worked. Perfect. Okay. So then what you see down here is a thumbnail image. And the idea is that all of the past locations that you visited would be displayed on the floor of this hallway. And by moving up and down inside of the hallway with this sort of top-down view, whichever one was directly beneath you would be the selected one, and you could move large distances pretty quickly with acceleration. Like you push up and then you hold down it for a little bit and suddenly you speed up real fast and you're zipping through the hallway to get to the thumbnail image that represents the level that you want to go to. So it's very linear. I'm not trying to even give the illusion that it spreads out across a map or anything like that. You start at the bottom. That's the first level that you play in the game, and as you progress you kind of move up in the hallway and new levels show. Now this one that's here is a repeating thumbnail. It's a placeholder. I just put it in there yesterday just to make sure that I could load resources on demand, which is a key part of my algorithm for the level selector. So today in this session, what I want to do is write some code that will take a number of levels, and it will create a hallway of the length that would be needed to display for all those levels. So this will be some runtime instancing of prefabs. My prefabs, as I just went over them, here they are: level end cap, level segment. So I'd be placing like a level end cap at the beginning, and then I'd be instancing the level segment n number of times, and setting the transform of it so it would be growing out upward, northward, if you will, to manufacture this lovely hallway in which my level selection will occur. Okay, so that is the challenge. I think I can do it pretty easily inside of one session, although whenever I get cocky like that, it's bad luck. But let's see what happens. So, unplay. Yeah, let's just delete all these extra level segments that I made. Now I do want to solve this problem that's been really irritating to me. Let me just do that real quick before I get going too much. What's this? The typer namespace is plain, does not exist in the namespace application. Game object util. This is what I mean by software rotting. Like this worked before, it does not anymore. Where does application come from? This is really strange. Like, it built fine last night, and today it does not. What to make of that? What to make of that? I didn't update any software. What changed? I don't think anything changed. Oh, I know what it is. Oh, this thing is so irritating. So, when you create a new source file, it automatically puts it inside of the application namespace. And guess what? Application is already one of the definitions inside of a different namespace. So the default thing that this does is create a bug. Just like the default create an empty source file thing using Unity, it creates a bug like immediately, and one that's a little bit hard to see what the problem is too. So this was the only change I made, and it did cause a build error immediately. Just creating a new source file in there using defaults with Unity. So Unity broke itself essentially. Okay, so let's see. What was this going to be? It was going to be hallway builder. Did I not just rename it? Okay. So, using my favorite type of class, a static class. The engine. Okay. So, I just want to create a stateless method here. Public static void build all. And it's already in the name. Build. What do I need to pass in? No, maybe I do want it to be a mono behavior. Let me think. Alright, whenever I have to stop and think like that, that means it's time to do a little bit of design work, just a tiny bit of design. Nothing too big. Okay. Hallway builder. Needs prefab instances for mcap and segment. Number of levels. I could make it a mono behavior, and the nice thing about that is I'll be able to test it in the editor directly. Yeah, let's make it a mono behavior without doing a full build and play. It's kind of a nice way to test it. So take off the static. And I can just do public game object segment prefab mcap prefab. Okay. So this is a good way to start it. If I say avoid, that is the same as private. Okay. Let's say build. We'll pass in. I think later on I'm going to want something like an array of names of levels or level information. thinking, do I want to set the starting position based on location of an existing prefab? Sounds like too much work to me. So I'm going to rename this. I'm going to just call this hallway. So actually the location, if this is a mono behavior, I'll attach it to a game object. The location of the game object will be the starting point from which the hallway gets built. Okay. I'm going to take a look at some older code that I wrote for instantiating prefabs, if I can find it. Okay, so if I use AutoFab, it means I'll be deriving so maybe I'll do that. I thought for sure I renamed this. Why do I keep failing to rename things? Do I have the right namespace in this AutoFab thing? No. Let's go up Godkiller. Let's see if I can build everything still. Cool. made this whole AutoFab framework thing, but it feels like overkill for what I'm trying to do, so I'm going to yank it. I'll instead just use some of the code inside of this AutoFab thing as a reference. So I just don't need all of that. I just don't need it all. So the stuff that was useful was just removing children. I think I've already got something in here for removing all the children. Destroy game object children. That's it. That's it. So I go to hallway. Let me see. Game object util. Destroy game object children. Game object. Okay. Then we need to start instancing. AF instantiate. Let's see what that is. Just move this over here for the moment. Don't think I need most of this. Instance the end cap. Okay. Well, what's this? Oh, maybe I should just use transforms on these. Okay. Let's see. What is all this? Oh, I can take that out. Okay. Let's see if it builds. So I will need my hallway game object. And just to kind of test it a little bit, I can move it away from the other stuff. Let's keep it at 0. Let's keep this at 0. This can be 20. 50. Nah, further. 80. Where I had it. Okay. And let's do hallway. Whew. First try. Very nice. The end cap appeared as soon as I put valid properties here. I think all properties, I'm switching too much between JavaScript and React and Unity. Okay. So far, so good. Let me just see if... Oh, god damn, I hate this shit. Okay, I know what this is. So basically, you don't want to do anything inside of onValidate. You want to have a signal that gets sent. So we'll say public, pool, update. True, and you signal it. You signal it not to happen inside of onValidate, which causes a number of problems, a number of not well documented problems, but inside of the update function, you say if update flag, reset the flag. Don't forget to do that. Flag is false. Then go ahead and instance all your prefabs. And this alleviates a large amount of random stupid shit. What? Okay. If I do that, do a clear here, it's going to rebuild. Okay. I can do 2, no problem. 3, no problem. 0, no problem. 1, so each time I change that number, it updated the build there. We'll try something maybe a little bit sillier. If I put different end cap in. I don't know if it's executing my code or not. It's not. Well, I'm offended. What is not executing? Is it the onValidate? So update flag is already true. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I always forget this one too. You gotta do execute always. Okay. And then there's also another issue here, which is I probably don't want any of the stuff to execute except while in the editor. So if Unity editor let's see how that does. Oh, come on. Run. Stop. Okay, I see one issue. I didn't reparent these to the hallway, so they don't have a way to be cleared out each time. So let's delete that. Go here, and if I say 1, I get that. But it's not parented under the hallway, so it doesn't get erased. So I think there's another thing in here. Set parent. Now we got the wall there. Let's delete this one. Okay, let me save this. Okay, cool. If I replace this with the end cap, yes. And that is clean instancing. I'm good with that. Now, for the segments. So the idea is if I've got 3 segments here, it should go 1, 2, 3, instance out that way. I'd like to write this in a really easily maintainable way, customizable way. So I'm thinking instead of hard coding the distance that it's going to instance each thing at, I want to get the bounds of the end cap after I've instanced it. Anyways, let me refactor this instancing code. Let's see, void. Oh, let's see, transform instance. Transform parent. Position, quaternion, rotation, static. I like static. Okay, and this is going to be, okay, that's the parent. I also need transform, prefab, clone, transform, could do something like start off like that. Q can remain constant, but position, I don't need to be so abbreviated. I can just do like this. And also I don't need to do this. I can pull this out. I don't even know if I need this rotation part. I'll take that out. Let me just try. Because I think just the rotation of the parent is going to be enough to set the direction everything else is. So that should be fine. So there's position. Oh yeah. So parent. Let's go transform. Parent. Maybe I should just pass in the parent transform to begin with. Yeah, let's do that. I want some kind of function here that's just going to move the position to be after the last thing I just built. Let's say advanced position, pass in I suppose that's kind of... No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. This other one... just to do it. Because it needs to be rotated to face the opposite direction and probably the offset different, but I might just want to use a separate end cap, because the far end cap could be kind of like anyways, I'll come back to that. Okay, advanced position. Really prefer static because it means that I know that this function is only going to work with the the parameters that I pass into it. And that's it. You know what? I think vector 3s are supposed to be treated immutably. I don't think it matters. Never mind. Okay, so I need to get the bounds of the last object that was placed. How to get the bounds. Unity, get bounds. Oh, it's a game object thing. I think that's it. Last place, game object. Bounds. Alright, whatever. Unity, get bounds. The renderer bounds. Okay, this is an expensive thing to call repeatedly, so I won't do that. Let's make something else here. Let's see. Measure prefabs. Idea being that I'll check one time how depthful is my end cap, how depthful is my hallway segment. Let's call this prefab. I guess I might as well just do it. Measure prefab, just make one thing. Prefab depth. Measure is a weird word. Just say get prefab depth. Sounds like I'm doing something really intense if I do that. Okay. And I'm just getting the bounds. Okay, so renderer. Let's be more specific. Let's say mesh renderer equals prefab game object get component mesh renderer. Okay. Bam. Okay. Then I want to turn renderer bounds. It's going to be Z. Okay. that. Then we say get prefab measurements. Int cap depth equals get prefab depth and cap. Same thing. Okay. That could do it. Okay, that must have an error. I think I have to instance it first before I can get the depth. I don't think I can get the depth from the prefab. But that's not too hard. I could say let's just call this get transform depth. And then so let's say on the first one, God, I forget about this shit. So to get a balance for everything, you have to basically iterate through all the children, check the bounds of each one, and combine them. That's a pain in the ass. I can just be coupled to knowing that the base is there and the base will be representative. So I keep changing the name of this as my contract changes. So let's call it a hallway piece depth. And a hallway piece is something that will always have a child game object named base. Let's call this piece. I'm already using the term piece. Let's see, hallway part. I'm using piece to mean something entirely different. So let's call this part. Okay. Game object tool. Find. Part. Base. Okay, something happened. Okay, so it did make this level segment clone here, but it didn't move it out. So it made two, but it didn't position the second one correctly. So I just want to see, yeah, nice. It cleans up nice. 4, yep, it makes 4, makes 1. Okay, cool. It cleans up nice. So let's breakpoint it. Segment depth. I'm guessing this is not getting set. Let me see if I can. Oh, I'm not running the debugger. Zero. Okay, cool. And cap def 9, much better. That's okay. Let's run through this again. This time we'll dive in, see what my function's actually doing. Did it get the base transform? Yes, it did. Did it get the renderer? Yes, it did. Okay, what are the actual bounds? Size is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That doesn't seem right to me. Am I not getting the bounds in the right way? So this has been instanced. And its bounds are just all nothing. Oh, because I'm passing in the prefab instead of the transform. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So 30. There it is. 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. Whoa, nice and long. 300. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. I mean, I'm not going to try and crash Unity, but let me just do like the upper reasonable bound. Hey, I'll do 3,000. I'll do 3,000. I'm going to zoom it out just because I want to see like how long does it actually take. You know when I'll stop? I'll stop when I notice a perceptible delay. And first I'm going to save all this shit. Okay. So right now, no delay at all. Okay, 3,000 might make a delay. Okay, that's the last one to do. That works, but also I've slowed down everything by quite a lot, and I crashed Unity. Okay, I'm so glad I saved that before. Before I tried that little experiment. Okay. Let's go ahead and reopen. How many we got here? Is this the 3,000? No, that's 300. Cool. That's plenty. Well, let me think about it. Maybe I might want as many as. Oh, I just did one. What's the part that it doesn't like? Oh shit, I did 3,001. I meant to do just one. Okay, phew. Okay, am I back to normal? Okay, so I may want as many as, and this is really the upper bound. 0, 0. Okay, I did feel a little bit of a delay there. I'm gonna go for 1,000. Okay, 1,000 is way more than I'll probably ever need, but it's possible I could do 1,000. Because like each one of these would be a level. Okay, now just to do something just a little more crazy, it might crash it again. I'm gonna hit play and it should initiate 1,000 requests to display a thumbnail inside of each of these. Which probably is not that big a deal because it's the same image, and so it's gonna cache it, I hope. And let's hit play. Huh. Okay, So what am I learning here that I need to think about? It's not trivial to instance 100 prefabs. So I'm going to set this to 100. So I just felt that tiniest bit of a delay there. The other thing that I'm maybe slightly concerned about is when I started it up. Oh, I know why. I think I know why. Oh yeah. So when I started it up, it didn't build the hallway. It didn't need to because it was already built. But also what I was looking at was the first hallway, which I can just delete it because I've already got it prefabbed. Okay, so then the hallway, let me put it over to the 0 spot. If I hit play, it'll show the hallway, but that's kind of not what I want to do. I want it to rebuild the hallway when it starts. Let me just check a few things here. Okay, if I hit play, yeah. Okay. There's all this nonsense. Object of type. Update thumb is getting called on validate. I don't really need that. On validate there, I can take that out. So this will get refactored anyways. I just want to get it so it doesn't. So this is getting called on load done. On load done. So load paradise. Maybe it's something like all the stuff is still loading while I hit the unplay button. I don't think it was the onValidate. I think it's getting called by onload done. Unload done was called by load paradise, called by start. So I don't know. This is all going to get refactored anyways. I might as well just either I comment it out or I could just shrink that down, clear this, save. Let's save project. Okay. And let's fix this camera so it's a little nicer. Yeah, I did notice like a tiny little delay. Loading those images. So briefly, just ever so briefly, measured in milliseconds. After this first one was displayed, the one above it displayed, and so on and so on. I could just barely see it, but it was there. There's a slight delay. It's almost like it's maybe loading from disk multiple times, which is okay. That would kind of make it a better test. So, not in this session, but in a later one, I want to have these thumbnails load on demand instead of all at the beginning. So that's the part that'll get refactored. Right, let me hit unplay, and I want to see if I still have those console log error messages. I do. I kind of don't get it. So on load done, just turn off the maximize on play. Okay. So let me hit play again. I want to see if I'm getting those error. Yeah, I get them right at the beginning. Okay. Weird. Okay. On load done. So it's complaining that it's been destroyed. Which I think has something to do with it being a prefab instance. But I don't think the error message is correct. I think it's a bad error message. Well, it's an arrogant thing for me to say, but it's saying that level segment has the object of type level segment has been destroyed, but you're still trying to access it. No. I mean, what's this? It's all here, and also, like, if it really had been destroyed, you wouldn't have been able to find the child object and apply the texture to it, Unity, and it's just a bad error message. They mean something else. In my opinion, my theory is they mean something else, but or there's a different problem, but they had this kind of like default error message for whatever that problem was, and they're spewing that at me, which is unhelpful for me trying to figure out what I actually have to do to fix the problem. But I'm going to punt on it because this code is not final code anyways. This was just stand-in code. Like, it might be something like I don't want the update thumb to happen. So let me see if I can fix it here. I've got a theory right now. I want to test it. I think it's the same bullshit that I have to do for onValidate. You say this update flag will initially be set to false, but once this onload done is set to true, or once onload done handler is called, I'll set that update flag to true, and then I'll actually do the thumb update inside of here. if update flag. Same pattern as I used before. I just set this false. Alright. So, I mean, if Unity calls update on an object that doesn't exist, then I have no grip on reality. I mean, Unity would be like totally fucked if it did that. So now this, on the other hand, this onload done, it's a little bit of a mystery method to me. I don't know when it's going to get called. Like, I don't understand what the state of the object is when it gets called. I know that start's been called. What's start? Start is anyways, I think by the time it gets to update, it's far enough in the life cycle to get past that. That's my theory. I'm going to try it out right now. Okay, so let's unplay. Okay, clear this. Yeah, that fixed it. Okay, I was right. So again, Unity error messages around prefabs are particularly unhelpful. The general lesson I've learned is just any updates you do to prefab clones, I mean, instances of a prefab, want to do them in the update. You don't want to do them on validate, or I'm learning other callbacks. So if I just put all that update code inside of update, then things tend to work without issue. Okay, so that problem is solved. The last thing I want to do for the session is create the opposite end cap, and that would finish it off. I might do a tiny bit more after that, but no, that'll be it. That'll be it. I can see the time right now, and I've got time for one more thing like that. So if I do I add back in this rotation parameter, quaternion rotation. Okay. Are there any other constants besides identity? I thought there might be one that is just like the opposite direction. Okay. Convert Euler angles to quaternion. I forget how to do a lot of this stuff. Euler angles to quaternion unity. Okay, that's it. It's probably gonna be fucked up. Probably. Probably will need some kind of offset. This might be easier to just make a separate prefab for the end cap, but let me just try this. It won't hurt anything to try. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought it would do. So I could set its rotation center point, or what's that? I forget the name of that thing. I don't know, the center point that it rotates on. I think I can set it right in the middle. Let me try that. Seems weird. Nope. Okay, so this thing here has no ProBuilder object. It's not a ProBuilder object, or it's not a no, it's not a ProBuilder object. That's why I can't set the pivot on it. I think I can do this the easy way. I did set all these so that they would be able to kind of rotate around. So let me try that. 90. 90. 90. 90. 90. Okay. So did I make it the right way? An issue is the base. The base is all white. It should not be white. Why would that be white? It's not white for the other one. Just for consistency, 90. Oops. Huh. Yeah, I don't quite get that. Alright, let's call this one South End Cap. Let's call this one. Let's unpack it first. Unpack prefab. North end cap. Okay. And I'll just fix the UV on this thing. Even though I don't know why it would be messed up. Maybe that's it. I think that's it. Okay. So this should be south end cap. Let me see how they line up if I put them both at the same spot. Well, this should be north end cap. Okay, hierarchy. North end cap. Okay, so if I put my north end cap at, let's say, 0, 100, 0. Whoa. 100, 0. Okay, south north. Let's drag a south out there. Put this also at 0, 100, 0. Perfect. Just wanted to make sure that they were, they didn't have like some weird offsetting thing applied to their children. Okay, so south and north are there. Hallway is going to need an extra thing. I get to take this out again. Yeah, there was just no point in figuring out the offsetting and rotation for that other end cap. I might as well just create two different end caps already set up the right way. Instance south end cap, oops, north end cap. Alright, so we'll call this this has got to be close to completion. So I've got my end caps set up. Let's just delete the extra junk. Delete. delete. And we go north end cap. And we go south end cap. Instantly appears. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. That smells like victory to me. So I can do a hallway of any length I want. It can be 3. It can be 5. It can be 50. I shouldn't say any length. I think I've already established that once I get out to about 3,000, I'm pushing my luck. Quite possible to crash things. Save, save, save. So this is a good place to stop the stream right after success. 4 minutes before 7 o'clock. Found enough time to put in a grocery delivery order and have it delivered to me in time for me to make dinner. So also I see my stream bandwidth has gone to 0, which is a really good time to stop the stream. Well, this is probably not capturing anything that I said. Stop.